Hello, welcome back. So we're going to get a face and a hat on this guy. I will start with the hat because I think it's the easier part. And if we think of a frosty type hat, it's really just two cylinders. So I'm remembering that the bottom was 60, the middle was 50, and I think the bottom's 40. So I think I'll want the diameter of the base of the hat maybe to be 40 also. So we can't draw it on the snowman. So I'm gonna create cylinder. I'm gonna click on the floor and I'm gonna draw the cylinder over here. And I'm gonna type in 40 to get 40. And then I'm gonna keep it at 10. And I'm gonna click OK. So I'm going to put that on his head before I create the second part of the hat. In fact, I think I'm going to make it, I think a height of 10 is too much. So now I'm going to show you how to edit a primitive. It's easiest to edit it if you haven't moved it or anything. So when I right click on this, there's an edit feature option. So I'm going to go to edit feature and I'm going to change the height to 5. And then I hit enter and those changes take place. So recall before when you were able to right click a sphere and go to move right away. That doesn't work with a cylinder, watch. If I right click the cylinder and go to move, it's not working. And the reason it's not working is you can see that only the face is selected. So the difference between a sphere and a cylinder is that a cylinder really has 2 or 3 faces depending on how you count. A cylinder has a top face and a bottom face, and then the bendy face. So depending on whether you count this bendy face, it's 2 or 3 faces. So when an object has 2 or 3 faces, you can't just right click. You have to select it first. Notice when I point to this, the body selects over here. So if I point to this, it knows it's part of body 4. So there's 2 ways to select it. First of all, if you can't see body 4, then you need to expand your bodies folder. So I find the best way to select a body is just to click it here in the browser. So if I click that, the whole thing is now selected. And now if I were to right click, I can go to move copy, and now it's working. I'm going to cancel that to discuss it more. So if I try right clicking like this, move copy doesn't work because the whole body is not selected. So before going to move copy, select the whole body by clicking the body here. That will select the whole body. You also can trace around it. Now tracing around it's not always possible. Like if I try to trace around that top sphere, it did select, but in some cases it's difficult. So I tend to select a full body by clicking on it over here, and then I come back to the whole thing that's been selected, and I right click, and I can get to move copy, and now it's the same process of before. So I'm going to go to the top. I'm going to move this so that it looks aligned. Zoom in, you might be able to see it better because it should fit up pretty perfectly since they have the same diameter. So that looks pretty well lined up. I'm going to flip my navigation cube to see the front, and you can see it's at the bottom. So now I'm going to pull the arrow, pan a little, zoom in a little, pan a little, and I'm going to move that. Well, I kind of like that positioning. And again, if I look at it from different sides, it's lined up pretty well. I'm going to go back to the home view, and I'm going to click OK, and now that part of the hat has been set on his head. So the next part is creating another cylinder. I'm going to make it on the floor again. And I need to make it smaller than 40. I think I'll make it 30 as the base diameter. And then this one I want taller, so I think I'm going to bring it up to 20. Okay, that looks like a pretty good top. In fact, I'm going to come over here and name these just to help you guys. It's okay if you don't name these. I'm doing it to help you. So I'm going to call this hat brim. And I'm going to call this hat, I don't know, top. Okay, so remember to move this, you got to select it, right click, move. I'm going to go to the top again because that's how I always start. I'm going to zoom in again. I'm going to pan because I like having stuff in the center. I'm going to visually center this. That looks pretty good. I'm now going to flip it over. Again, it's at the bottom. So I'm going to use the arrows again to bring it up. Zoom in more, pan more. So if you take it slow with moving stuff, it works better. So there's the top. And I can hit OK. And now my snowman's looking pretty good. So let's add, we can use a cylinder for the nose. I know a carrot would be better, but that's beyond the scope of this lesson. So I'm just going to make a few more. I'm going to make a sphere for one eye and then copy it. And then I'm going to make a cylinder for the nose. I think I'm going to use a donut for the mouth. That'll be cute. Okay, so, and this time I think I'm going to draw on the wall. I'll go back to my home position. Actually, I think I'm going to stop this video and get it uploaded and then work on the face, and then I'll have a fourth video for the arms. Okay, McDonald out.